We're learning Parshas VaYakhel, Torah in 10, Likutei Halachos. He speaks about Shabbos and bringing Shabbos into the week. And if people had this lesson that Rav Micha gives over, and God willing, we're going to speak about in less than 10 minutes, they'd have a much easier time of being happy and living connected. I remember a friend of mine speaking to me maybe 25 years ago, and he just literally felt this. He felt all the time, he felt drawn and dragged down to negative thoughts. He said, I'm obsessing about it, and I can't do anything about it. I go to learn, I go to daven. I just can't get my head away from depressing, sad thoughts, bad thoughts. I don't know what to do. So he had spoken to someone high up in Yeshiva, and this person had suggested maybe try to take it easy. Maybe you're pushing yourself too much. Relax, play some ball, eat a little more. And then he suggested prayer, daven with intensity. Then maybe that'll help you. Nothing helped him. Didn't know what to do. So I'm like this senior rabbi at that point. I was, maybe 22, 21. Didn't have any of his big advantages. My only advantage was that I knew this little piece of Likutei Halachos. He didn't know it. That's the whole difference. So after I finished speaking with him, I didn't know whether it was going to help him or not. It seemed to be helping. So he got back in touch with me, I think 2 years later. And he told me, what you told me held till then, but I hadn't told him what Rav Micha says when you're going to say something in my name and it will distance a person from Hashem. Don't tell them my name, just say it anonymously. And that's what I did. So he said, what you told me held for 2 hours. We spoke for about 2 hours. This is a condensed version. But he said, what you told me held me for the last 2 years or so, but now it's coming back. I don't know what to do. So I directed him to the books, the Sfarim, Likutei Halachos, Eternally Yours, the letters, beautiful letters, all these beautiful, wonderful works. And they really held him. And without this explanation, without this focus that Rav Micha and the Rebbe brings, he was not holding by. He just could not. He was falling apart. So Rav Micha says the main way that the Yetzer Hara, the powers of negativity, take a person is through thoughts. A person feels attacked by all sorts of terrible thoughts. He feels drawn to think about this, to think about that, to worry about things, to project, to fear. So that's the main way that a person gets slaughtered. He literally gets destroyed. His spiritual life, his connection to God is destroyed by these negative thoughts and these confusing worries that just drag him down. He said especially worry about Parnasa in this particular piece. It talks about money. The person worried how will he make a living, what will he do, and maybe this will happen, maybe this won't happen, maybe, whatever the situation is, he's full of worry, full of fear. He said, so what is a person supposed to do? What can I do? Of course, the best thing is to purify ourselves to such an extent that we don't have such thoughts. That's beautiful, but generally speaking, it's not such an easy thing to attain. Maybe we'll talk about that some other time. But just in the interim, Rav Micha says the main thing is to just stop. Put Shabbos in the week. On Shabbos, we cease activity. We cease this type of labor, creative labor. We cease it. We just stop. Same thing, Shabbos during the week, a person can do this spiritually, bring the light of Shabbos into the week by stopping. That's it. Putting his thoughts somewhere else. All the worries, all the confusion, all the tumultuous thoughts, just take it easy, Shabbos. Person has a choice. His thoughts, we call thoughts a train of thought because it's one after the other after the other. Rabbi Nachman says it's like a watch ticking away second after second after second. So we have a choice. We can choose if I want. I can have good thoughts. If I want, I can have bad thoughts. I can think about anything I want. So even if there's something inside me, whatever that is, pushing me to negativity and worry, whatever that might be, and it's worthwhile to make an investigation and try to figure out what is driving me to these thoughts. What is this telling me? What is my subconscious? What is this bechinas malchus? Whatever you may say. What's it trying to teach me? A lot of people, they like to try to work out what's the best thing is to work out what is bothering me, what can change that will relieve me. That's a very great thing if you can do it. But even if you can't for now, what you can do is take this train of thought and sort of move it somewhere else, like a horse. You sort of move to a different part, look this way to that way, gently. And Rav Nassan says you have to be very careful. Don't look back. And Rabbi says don't look back. Look back. Oh, what happened to that thought? You go right back because you bring it back in. The person, we all have the ability to sort of direct our thoughts gently, because every person naturally can only entertain one thought at a time. Even though I remember speaking to a big, this person was a very big opponent of Chassidut, and he was like Chassidus, and he said, now I find that it says in different works there were certain great sages who could hold two thoughts at one time. But the question is not a question, because besides there being strong classic thoughts in various places, that this is the fact in halachic different halachas. Besides that, we'll leave that. That's not for a time to share the second. Maybe we want to talk about Parashas, or maybe we'll get there. But remember, Be'ez Hashem. But for right now, very simply, you have to train yourself to think two thoughts. Your thoughts are in your hands. You think this, you think that. It's like it's a focus. It's something you work on. Most people naturally we're thinking one thing. Especially when I feel like I'm being drawn, and like my friend, he couldn't help but think depressing, worrisome thoughts. I won't make it. I'll succeed. I won't succeed. Who knows? Whatever he was thinking, whatever worries he was having, whatever's on his mind, will he be able to make enough money? Whatever's on his head. So this sort of thought, you have one at a time. You just move forward to another thought, and it goes away. So you have to make Shabbos into the week, and that is really how we build the Mishkan. We're talking about building the Mishkan. Building the Mishkan. The Mishkan is in place what Shabbos is in time. And I can expand Shabbos. I can take Shabbos and imbue my week with the illumination, the beauty of Shabbos. I have a friend who was having a hard time in different aspects, different bechinas of bris, different things he wants to have personal purity. He's working on it. It's hard for him to not have bad thoughts, whatever exactly he was working on. And, I told him, the main thing that he was counting down, he has already 50 days, 60 days, about this, whatever his avoda was. And it's like, it's not 50 or 60 days. You want to get to a place where you're not remembering. I don't want to think about this. But Rav Nassan says the worry and the fear that a person is going to fall is worse than falling. Is why, especially in these inyanim of personal purity. He said because that's what causes much stronger falls. That's what brings me to that place. I'm like obsessing about it. So I'm bringing, again, my thoughts. The Baal Shem Tov says, what you think, that's where you are. So I don't want to think about these things. I just want to take them out of my mind, and I want to think about other things, positive things, good things. That's what I want my mind to be on. That's what I want to be on. So when a person's counting, when a person's worried, who knows what will happen, that in and of itself is very, very negative. It's very, very bad. We have to understand, I have a capacity for tremendous good. We all have a capacity for tremendous good through our thoughts. Our thoughts are the way we reveal Hashem in the world. That's how I do it. I can't do it in the Neshama. It's through thinking. That's how I bring the Neshama into the world. I bring myself into, maybe that's the resting place in the Neshama, if you want to explain it. So my thoughts have tremendous power. That's why the Rebbe said, be very careful what you think. If you have a strong thought, visualization, there's a lot of powerful Torah and Brisa about visualization, and that it works either way, no matter what. It has a tremendous power. The Neshama has a power. So what you think, your mind can think anything. You can go anywhere. It has tremendous koach. We have endless ability, endless potential in our mind, and we need understanding. We need to understand, and we need to realize that every thought either is doing good things or doing not such good things. And I have to know the first thought. Okay, Maleches Machshavas Asur Torah, like I think Rav Micha, I think it was who said it. This idea that in Shabbos, the only thing that's prohibited is a person who did a malacha, who did a labor that he intended to do. That was in his thought. So he said the malacha of machshava, like the Rambam says, the first thought, a person who thinks this or thinks that, it's not exactly so much. He's not really culpable. He's culpable if he sits and focuses on it and concentrates on it and keeps it. So we just have to move to something else. Rav Nassan said sometimes you can't move to something in holiness. So think about business, think about anything, whatever it may be, and it's going to go away. And this is something which is just a matter of changing our attitude, changing what we're used to. And once we get used to it, it's very, very simple. Hashem shall be zocher to the or of having holy machshava and keeping the light of Shabbos in our week.